Hello, Laramie Middle School. My name is Elise Mann, and I am our school's speech language pathologist. Today, I just have a little bit about who I am, some things I like to do, and then we can jump into what is a speech language pathologist. I'm going to pull up a little bit of a PowerPoint so that you can follow along with me. Alrighty, so my name, Miss Mann. It's a little bit of a funny name, but I'm sure you'll get used to it. I am from Colorado. I did not grow up in Wyoming, but I'm loving being here. I grew up with 4 siblings. I had one older brother, and I kind of followed him around everywhere. And then I had 3 younger sisters who are good friends for me. I love to go mountain biking. I really enjoy being outside and being in the mountains, and mountain biking is a fun way for me to get to cover a lot of ground. Still learning how to do it. Some of those rocks and roots get me, but I'm getting there. Another thing that I really enjoy is playing sports. My favorite is probably soccer. I did a lot of that growing up, but I also did some basketball and volleyball, and one of my other favorites is milk jug lacrosse. If you've never heard of it, you'll have to ask me about it this year. So, what is a speech language pathologist besides a huge mouthful? Basically, I teach communication. We have to do a lot of communicating, and this year we're going to have to figure out some new ways to do it. We have some face-to-face time in the classroom, at least a couple days a week, which is so exciting. But we've got face masks on. So it's a little bit harder to read some of those facial expressions, and sometimes it's a little hard to understand what people are saying. So we're going to be working on some strategies to get around those difficulties. But we have a whole new world to be communicating in as well, one that we kind of touched on at the end of last year, and that's our virtual world. How do we know what teachers are wanting us to do? How do we ask our teachers the questions that we need so that we can keep working on our schoolwork? We're going to be looking at some strategies for that as well. There are 3 big areas that I cover for both of these worlds. The first one is intelligibility. What does that mean? Well, when you're talking, you want people to understand what you're saying. I'm going to be working with some of you on your speech sounds. Can we make sure that your lips and your tongue and your mouth know where they're supposed to be for every sound that you make? That way, you can be understood the first time you say it. Another area is language. We have to think about receptive language. How do we understand what people are saying to us? Teachers are giving you a lot of information in middle school, and you're supposed to try and remember all of it. So we're going to come up with some strategies for organizing our information and then being able to map it out. We also have to think about, how do we express ourselves? Expressive language. Can we give all of those rich details all in one sentence? How do we know when to move on and use another sentence? What are some connecting words that you can be using so that it's not just a run-on? A third area is in social skills. This area can be a little tough to work on. We have some tough questions like, why does one teacher expect this and then another teacher expects something totally different? Sometimes it might be working on helping us understand emotions, both how we feel and cues that other people are giving us so that we know how they feel. Another area is problem solving. What happens when we get frustrated or when we feel like things are unfair? How do we deal with those problems and show flexible thinking as we come up with solutions? So, last question then is, what's the point of all this? Why bother working on it? We have classes, we don't get a grade for speech. Well, I want to give you a voice. I want you to feel like you can be heard, that you have something to say, and I want you to be able to say it with confidence. The end result is that we have a whole community full of communicators. That's going to be richer for everybody else. They get to hear your good thoughts and ideas, and you can feel confident sharing them. Thank you for watching my video today, and I'm really looking forward to getting to know you this year. See you at the middle school.